Hold on. Sorry. So, I know I did. We good.
Good.
We good.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Here.
Here. Here. Here. Here. Here. Here. Here. Thank you. We'll move into committee reports. Councilman Leeds does not have a report. Yes, public works prepared, discussed bandstand. Also was an issue with the alarm, or is an issue with the alarm system at the museum, and Quinn and Roy are doing that right now. Figure out what we can do to correct the problem. I'm suggesting that possibly they have a separate alarm system that we typically use out there. So I'm suggesting that we actually move into the same company. So we're looking to see if they still have a contract with the current company. And there was an issue with the lights at the football field on the home side last night. And the cross was there. Quinn, whatever, looked at it and contacted Calgary Electric, and they traced the problem back to a Lake Electric problem with a pole, which I think has since been fixed. So they're going to try the lights again. That's all that I have. Thank you. Councilwoman Booth.
Okay, for insurance and safety, I just want to remind everybody on council to make sure they complete their elected officials training. We get $2,000, right? A person here.
250 a person, 2,000 max for the.
Right. So that's what we get, and that's a credit on our insurance. That's good. As far as Municipal Alliance is concerned, Coffee with a Cop took place on February 26th at Good Shepherd Church. There was a nice attendance there. Chief Von Collin was there, Sergeant DeMarco, Officer Van Pelt, Officer Gansert, Officer Grease.
Greitz. Was it Andy or Herbie?
G-R-I-E-S.
Bryce.
Thank you. Officer Zabinski and Officer Pemberti were there. It was a nice turnout. I'd like to try to figure out how we can get more people out, maybe next year, maybe move it over to the Birch Grove building or something, get some. Figure out
Park Center.
Park Center, right? So figure out a way to get more people out, but it was a nice, it was a nice event. As far as Economic Development Commission, I'm just going to report on what's going on with the offshore wind, only because there's speculation, I guess is the word to use, that may affect our economy, on our down beach economy. So there's going to be a meeting on March 15th at 6 p.m. at Ocean City Tabernacle Church in Ocean City, which is located at 550 Wesley Avenue. Also, Congressman Van Drew is going to be holding a hearing on March 16th at the Wildwood Convention Center at 2 p.m. You have to register for that on his website. And that's all that I have, Council President.
Thank you. And Councilman, and the insurance seminar we need to, or soon that we need to do that. We have till May to do that. Yeah. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Not much to report. Little League is looking forward to their opening day. Again, that's April 15th for opening day for Little League Northfield Community School. Their next meeting is March 20th. They are having their third district coordination meeting on the 30th. March. And what else? I attended the Mother's League, Woodford Mother's League spaghetti dinner on Sunday night at, they have a new venue. They went from the earlier to Summers Point, but they had a very nice turnout, very well done. So I want to commend the Northfield Mother's League again for all the efforts they put into the citizens of Northfield. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have for the cultural committee, Councilman Deweese already gave a report for that. I know they fixed the door that was broken. For the veterans liaison, I have talked to some of the veterans outreach people. We're trying to get a count of all of the veterans in Northfield so we can hold an event for them. And I guess for mainland, just to have a congratulations to the mainland girls and boys basketball teams and the track teams for going as far as they both did. I think that's all.
Councilwoman Carr.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to just ditto what Councilman Smith said about the Motors League. I did also attend that. Great event, very successful. Motors League is a great group, and they do a lot for our town, and I always appreciate the supporting them. Also from FAN, I spoke to our Public Works Superintendent today. We're going to do some minor maintenance repairs in the snack bar, just some little punch list of silly things that need to be done in there. Nothing major. We also discussed an issue today with our slip lining. We had a problem on Route 9. You know, the more things you fix in town, the more problems you're going to have. So unfortunately, the contractor had an issue and there was a collapse in the pipe. And it looks like you guys can chime in if you want. We're going to be shut down on Route 9 by McDonald's for quite maybe a few days or so. So that's going to have a problem with some traffic and so forth. So that's all I have. I think it's
I gave the contractor contact with the DOT, so we contacted him this afternoon. We gave it to the DOT were here about moving Route 9 northbound from Banning towards Route 9. He's talking to the different contractors. He spoke with Lafayette from all the contractor and another company called Metro that from our firm they work with. So either one is going to come in and who is available, they're going to come in, close the road. The section that's damaged, we have about 80% section, but the last year, that's not doing the flip line. Basically, what you put the flip line and you put the air fluid to, you force the air out there to secure it. The site apparently either some frequently, but also some kind of the 80 feet collapse. Basically, the pipe is disintegrated. And we have the liner in place, so there's no infiltration control system, but the liner is not now wrapped. So then the water is flowing through. So we had an issue last night getting the McDonald's sewer line was connected. So they were not able to do that last night. They had the necessary equipment. So we'll have the contractors with a pump into their lateral. The pump into the lateral. That they don't have.
It's recording the meeting.
4 o'clock and they got a company that they were able to go through the lateral all the way down about 15 feet. We call it 18, but then it's 15 feet give and take at the top of the pipe, and then we open the establish the connection for McDonald's. So McDonald's will be running as normal, but we need to fix that.
Yeah.
So the water still running through the pipe, but of course we can't do what we have to get.
No.
So it depends if they get a lot of firms, they might be able to get in the 24 hours to get it done in 24 hours.
Okay.
Other also, you know.
Thank you. So you had,
yeah, that's all I have.
so I also attended the coffee with a cop. I had invited the senior group to let them know that that is happening, so. And that. I also let them know, and hopefully other people in town know that this Thursday at 10 a.m. here in City Hall, there's an overflow presentation by some folks at the FBI in association with our municipal alliance and our police department. 10 a.m. this Thursday, unite. I did reach out to the committee with that as well. From the finance area, we're moving along through the budgets. We have scheduled our next budget meeting. It's not needed. We got through. We have added some, well, as we, everyone should recall, at the end of last year, we added a firefighter. And we, in this budget so far, we now have an additional police lieutenant. And of course, there's benefits costs that have gone up for the state for all police benefits employees. With that said, we're at a $0.015 increase for 2023 on our tax rate. We have been at 0 for the past 5 years, so unfortunately, we were not able to hold it again this year. We do have another opportunity before the state is issuing their credits that's going out to the cities, the municipalities, so it may help us, but where we are right now is where we believe it's going to be. We don't know if the state's going to come through with where a lot of help. The other item on a sad note, Ray Adams, our payroll clerk for many years, passed away recently. We wish the president strength to get through this tough time. And with his family here in Northfield, everybody saw him every week, so he's sadly missed. And that is all I have for my committee report. Moving on to the work session. The stormwater, anything? Okay. And the sale of the properties again, that's what we have no opinion on that. It's we've responsible from Habitat, the work on with their end for those two properties. And the next item being the Zion Road. We have some signs out there. There have been signs to the no parking. It's a busy area, and there's some discussion about creating a loading zone. We don't believe that there's any desire for a loading zone from any of these businesses along there. So we'll pursue with the county and potentially putting no parking further.
Is that our responsibility?
I think no parking is always that one.
Yeah. What, are the signs our responsibility or the county's?
Just throwing it up.
Oh, they're already up. Okay.
Yes.
And parking. And they indicated that they would like to speak to Crystal Council on the record. And I do see someone from Cook Market in June.
Oh.
So it's in June is Rich Sunapee. I don't know if that's actually Richard is there, but would you like to speak at this point to the council with regard to design renovation? So please raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Maybe not.
Well, if they're there and they decide during one of the public sessions.
Okay.
Make time for that. That said, I think right now, we think that there's not a need for creating additional anything there.
Are we also considering extending the no parking on the ice cream side up to that property that's behind the ice cream shop?
I believe so, yes. Moving on.
I'm sorry, we are extending it. We just need to, how far are we extending it?
I believe it was one. Was it, we are currently at 125?
Yes. East of
East.
Tilton on Zion.
Yes. I don't know that we have I don't know that we have a number of how far
Center
down we're
line?
going to go.
Right, I just thought that there was no opposition from the resident to extend that parking.
Well, if we're gonna do that,
So we don't have a dimension yet.
If there's. Then it should just go all the way down. I think that's the thing we need to determine if we're gonna go all the way down with it. Or if it's sufficient where it is. I mean, it's in place, it's at the end of the. It's where the residential meets the commercial. I think that would be.
I think the problem is in front of the residential is really where the problem lies, isn't it?
Didn't Chief on Colin last meeting indicate that he spoke with the resident? and was
Yes.
Okay with.
Yes.
The resident was okay with extending.
Just a one more. Okay.
I think to his driveway maybe. But we don't.
Beyond that,
I don't
no
know if we
problem.
have it.
Okay.
This
Well,
is-
all right, then, assuming that's what was, I don't recall, but assuming that's it, then we'll ask if that get moved down. One property, that next property, like, I believe it's another 50 feet.
So would you?
Um, On the sign ordinance, I believe we still need, we met and we'll have another meeting in the near future, and then we'll include the planning board in that meeting so that we can clarify and agree on what makes sense to the team, what changes make sense in the ordinance. The next thing is to discuss possibly having a food truck ordinance. We don't have anything right now in our code allowing for it. And it's been brought up, it's something that's popular, so we're thinking about having that, putting together a committee so that we can determine where and how often, all the different specifications for food trucks. Birch Grove Park for events, maybe all of Birch Grove Park, that whether it's the fields. So is there anyone that would,
I'd like to be on that.
I'll be on that.
okay? Anyone else? Okay, for now, Councilman Louise and. Ricky?
Yes.
On the grants, did you say, you started talking and we probably had somebody in Zoom. Did you have anything additional with?
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna get and what about the. Take the and move that. You probably have to adopt what we do about communication, so when the planning board has an application, they need to grant certain items on the pipeline book, so certain number of units is required. Station or station, certain number of units, commercial has to have a target station there, so we need that. Maybe we can just stop this by, say, what is the table with the platform? Or we
I believe the state does have a sample ordinance addressing that issue here as far as the EV. And by the way, while I'm on it, did everyone receive their copy from the planning board secretary? Okay, I know we had a hard time sending it the initial.
So, one section of it indicates that the planning board has reviewed it and that this EV, charging station ordinance supports the master plan, and you have to list the different elements that it supports. There's also decisions to be made with regard to setbacks. So there's certain elements of the EV ordinance that cannot be changed. You can't change the permitting process. Like it's section D and F, you can't change it all. But I think you need to have a committee look at pieces of the model ordinance that have the blanks in them. And what do you want that to look like?
For me, I end up with the rest of it, but that's on the line, on the side, on the road there and the station. So I had to get there within the setback, that's what I was able to only do. I couldn't take that out. There's no what is prohibited. EV station.
We have to do this. I sent this to the planning board in July of 21. And we just heard that. So I think somebody.
Yeah.
identify who wants to be
Yeah,
on the
is
committee.
anyone, I'll do that committee. Is anyone else going to,
I'll do that with you, Tom. Council
Okay.
President.
all right, well,
And I also recommend- Yeah. Rather have it.
behind. Okay. Welcome to the committee. Okay, all right. Well, everyone can please refer to your agenda. Approval of the minutes, Councilman Notaro, Councilwoman Bucci. The resolution 64 through 74. Consent agenda, Councilwoman Stefano, Councilman Smith. Resolution 75, we are not, we're pulling that, there's, it has to do with the care service. The business care service with the Glenwood, 75 is out. Much information, but the 75 is out. 75 is out. And 76,
That out.
yeah, 76, Councilman Smith, Councilman Louise. 3, we are not doing tonight, we don't need an instruction, but we will have. So ordinance 5, Councilman Louise, Councilwoman Passanio. Ordinance 6, Councilwoman Bucci, and Councilwoman. In the bill, Councilwoman Passanio, Councilman Louise. And meeting notices, Councilman Notaro. Good, with that, we'll now open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic, we ask that you step forward, state your name and address for the record, and observe 5-minute limit per speaker. And if there's anyone in Zoom, please raise your hand.
All my Zoom people left.
Okay. Seeing no one, public session is now closed. And we have motion to adjourn the work session.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Begin the regular meeting in a moment. Certainly.
We good?
Okay.
The meeting is the regular session of the Northfield City Council, not 2023. This meeting is properly advertised in accordance with public law 275, chapter 231, and city on January 7th of this year. May I have a slide, please?
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask that we all have a moment of silence as reported by Council President Palestina. Regretfully, one of our longtime employees, and I say dedicated employees, had recently passed away, Mr. Ray Adams. Thank you. Please be seated.
Mr. Carter,
Here.
Mr. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here.
Here.
Mr. Paul.
Here.
Here.
That looking for approval of minutes.
Mr. President, I'd like to move to dispense with the reading and approval of the minutes of February 21st, 2023 and February 23rd of 2023. They've been distributed to council and are on file in the clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain from 23rd.
Any opposed? Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. I'll open up my, excuse me, report by the Northfield Police Department for the month of February. Just briefly explain, giving some points that were made with regards to motor vehicle stops. There were, for the month of February, 325. Property checks, there were 913. Gun permit applications, which is, we have seen a steadily rise in the city of Northfield for 12. Let me just point out with the gun permit application, previously, the process of getting the final certification card, you had to go down to Mays Landing Justice Building and appear before a judge, and the judge asked you several questions, and if the judge felt it was within legal sense, you were granted the permit there. It's now my understanding, and I do know that it happened to me last week. The process has now or will be changed where the onus will now be put on our local police department. The individual will have a process through our department, which means that we will have to purchase our own special cardboard or the paper that has to be printed for the permit card, as well as charging a fee and any other necessary permits, paperwork that has to be done. So once again, this has been a task that's now being passed on to local departments, police departments, another task that we had never anticipated, along with an additional cost. I would like to cordially invite everyone on March 23rd for the ribbon cutting of the new building, or I should say, new placement of the Morgan Stanley investment company that was formerly that was on or is on currently New Road that will be moved to Tilton Road, which was formerly the Ocean First Bank. If any of you, and that is a Thursday, and as I said, it will be 2 p.m. However, they do have for the opportunity for all of us to visit and review the facilities about an hour before the actual ribbon cutting. So everyone is cordially invited. If you can attend, that would be very nice. I'm happy to report that after 2.5 years of back and forth correspondence, we finally have gotten our bus station, our additional bus station that is erected on Oak Crest and Shore Road. As I said, it was like over a 2.5 year process. I don't know why it took that long, but it is there now. And thank goodness that was something that was given through a New Jersey Transit grant. I'm in the midst of discussing and researching with the chief with regards to the promotion process that is by ordinance for the police department. We hope that we can eliminate some of the costs, not only to the officer in question, but also to the city. It could mean up to, for each applicant, about maybe $10,000 for the city itself. So I'll be presenting that to city council for their consideration, hopefully by next month, for you guys to review. Yes, sir.
With that, there's the Parking Motions Committee, I believe we have an opening on it, because Councilman Potts was one of the members, so.
Well, that was just my appointment there, but I'm certainly open to if we want to have other people on there, you know. Okay,
I think Councilman Lee,
and that's fine if Mr. Leeds wants to be on it, since Mr. S is not on that, I have no problems. Is that something that you would like, Mr. Leeds? Okay. Most recently in the Wednesday, March 1st, 2023, Sentinel, there was an article that was entitled Linwood Limits Locations for Addiction Recovery Homes. It says that the subtitle, City Council revises the ordinances to give City Council control and have some regulations. I know this has been going back and forth with regards to this, and I would just forward maybe our solicitor or city council wishes to the president to review what has gone through, and maybe something they've known that we don't know. It's the addiction recovery homes.
Oh, okay.
And as I said, the subtitle is City Council revises ordinances to give city control and have some regulations. And as you know, we have also received complaints and concerns. They too have received that, although I think in the article it says, as far as the number of homes that they have in Linwood at this time does not come close to what we have here in Northfield.
Yeah, we can reach out to them and see what. They have. It's accurate.
Yes, that's the question. That's the question. Yes, yes. That's all I have for tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the bus stop on Oakrest. Who approved the placement of where they put that? Did the county have oversight and the state?
That is correct. We, in our application, I had submitted, that was just location, but as far as getting the right of way and all the other site plans and everything that,
In the sidewalk, and I went by through that intersection a couple weeks ago. We had a heavy frost at night, and that creates a sight obstruction looking to the north. You can't see past that bus. It's clear when there's no frost or nobody in there, you can see traffic coming through, but it was a heavy frost and you could not see past that, and that creates a sight obstruction. So I'm just bringing that to, maybe we can have the police department look through that, give a recommendation, but I'm concerned about the placement of that.
Can side panels come out, you think?
They'll probably come out anyway. But I'm just bringing that to council's attention. It's,
okay, I'll pass that on to the chief, but I think maybe yeah.
because they didn't have to get any right away because it's in the county right away. It's in the sidewalk.
Yes, it was county, and the businesses there were also notified and they had given the right of way. But as far as the actual placement within that corner, that was up to the county and through their engineers, as well as the coordination through the New Jersey Transit. I had only made the recommendation that it be placed in that area.
Understand? So maybe you could ask the.
Yes, I'll ask the chief. I don't know if, Sergeant, do you have any comments on that? I know you might be involved in that.
I'm not familiar with it, but what we can do is we can, put an officer out there. We get a bus schedule for an officer out there, having the aggregate traffic, take some statistics and pass it on to.
Okay,
And better condition, pick up.
Yeah, what it was early in the morning, and it's not so much the bus or people, it's just you could not see past it, see traffic coming southbound from the north. So it created a sight obstruction
Yeah,
for cars coming out onto Shore Road.
yeah, if you give us some time, we can work on this stats.
thank you, Sergeant.
Greg, it's just a site issue, right?
That's correct.
I don't
I don't
know
think
if we
the
have to
bus-
do any, right? Is it
It's
more than
just-
that?
Can't see traffic.
So it's
That's
just,
the stop sign.
so I guess when you're pulling up to it, you really can't visually see, so it's like a tight triangle.
Side
thing,
panels
so-
crossed up. I don't think Sid understands that.
Tonight, takes a photo. Yeah, whatever, it sounds like the side. That's correct. Yeah, I mean, on that, I don't. It's just the structure itself creates a site obstruction.
Yeah, I hate to see you do all this,
Yeah,
Work when it's
the side
tight.
panels are gonna Also, or. In other ways, going to do.
It's right, it's probably like between Pembroke and the corner,
Yes.
for example, right?
That's
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Yeah, I can understand facing eastbound, looking left to make a left. That could be a problem.
It was covered with frost, you could not see beyond, past it, no. I had to inch out actually into the lane.
I'll take a look at it. tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Engineering report?
Thank you, Council. We talked about the people buying the issue we had last night, so that. We have to get back to the contract date. The other thing is, they went out to clean the line on the marsh. So anytime, the line, so that. Line. They found that line is unsmooth, like there's no seams, there's no joint, like, and it's good. Like, where we. So, point, it's, that's the thing, like, the material they're using is not in the north, so, we talked about the different material, they came back with material that's gonna be, starting 21,000. From your discussion with the contractor, we'll take the material from it. So at this point, I'm not. The line, the platform from the beer to. We found. So, I think this one, we're not in a line. So, we're just make it our contract. The connection with the manual, I that series. There, that. Something happens, that water's coming slow. So we need to, so one way or another, we need to get that done. To emergency, I'll report this on the meeting.
If we can't slip line it, it's the alternative, just replacing that pipe.
We have to keep an eye on it. Basically, the concern is when this line, we will have the same situation we had,
Mhm.
my burst. And if it bursts, then we're gonna have the same problem. And
How long is this section?
that's, now,
700 and can we replace in the marsh? Or is that an
well, we
EPA?
did that for- My burst.
Yeah,
We replaced it, then we buried it. In the barge.
Yeah.
How old is that section?
I think we replaced it 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and we had the break in the line.
but if we can't slip line it, the alternative is replacing.
When, yeah, well, we have to spend on the whole station down there.
Right.
Take it out of the market.
Yeah. Because the marsh has the pitch, right? You'd have to put a pump station and pump it up. Well, we
So you have to look at-
figure it out, yeah.
So if we eliminate that, we give you price for that section, we got. It's either going to be 50,000 with us on the contract, we're going on that. So, I need to look into it and talk to the business now, we'll have the same.
Well, and then, but we bring out, we have the cost of, fixing the connection.
That, yeah.
That too, yeah.
That's on us, because those,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the contractor. The good thing that when they were working, they found it. It's a good thing.
You know, nothing else from your report? Okay, then, at this time, we will, is there any other questions for, here for? Then we'll open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic? After you please step forward, state your name and address for the record. And if anyone came back to Zoom, you can raise your hand.
First time ever, nobody in there.
No, heard them. I heard them talking.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Hoff, I'm with Planet Networks, also here with Joe DeBrew, also with Planet Networks. So it's been a little while since I've been here and touched base with everybody. In case everybody's not familiar, we're doing a large fiber to the home internet project coming in through Atlantic County and specifically starting here in Northfield. So over the last, say, it's probably been 2 months since I've been here. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody ever sees nor appreciates. So far, we've had to survey 1,300 telephone poles to connect back from our network in Edgewater Township, just to get us in towards the very beginning of Northfield. So we still have another 900 telephone poles through Northfield that we have to survey, and it's a long, tedious process. But we have secured, and we're actually doing renovations on a shopping warehouse up in Egg Harbor Township, unfortunately, only because we have to have parking for about 50+ vehicles. So that kind of puts Northfield at a disadvantage for us. So we've hired our first full-time staff members down in the area. Our permits are going through as fast as they can possibly go. And our very next step is we're going to be out on the streets, physically doing the connection and running through and getting things hooked up. Once we start coming in, it's going to be about a 3-month process to have the entire city covered end to end with fiber optic cable. So we're anxious. I mean, we're moving along at a good speed and we feel like we're in a good place. So my side of the project is kind of off in the background. So now my partner Joe here is going to be handling the marketing and sales side. You'll be interacting with him as a city moving forward.
So I'm Joe DeRue, I run sales and marketing for Planet. We're going to be starting an awareness campaign in the middle of April, basically educating the businesses in the community about who we are, the benefits of fiber. We've begun to get involved with the local chambers, the economic development committee. We're sponsoring the Little League and softball team. So we're beginning to begin the marketing and sales education process. You know, we're hoping by the beginning of May to have our first full-time sales rep, our first full-time marketing person here in the community. And we're hoping sometime in the middle of summer to start launching and begin to turn our customers.
What services will be utilizing or could possibly utilize your fiber optic service here in Northfield?
Yeah, so, you know, it's gonna be, you know, traditional internet, voice over IP, low voltage like camera systems and security systems. So there's gonna be a complete, you know, turnkey solution for the local businesses, but also for the home, right? I mean, the smart home isn't so smart if the internet isn't always up and working. So I think, you know, one good fact, and you guys should be credited for bringing us in, 40% of the residents after 1 year of us being in a community adopt our services. So you're bringing a real value to the community, and you're gonna see a lot of momentum once we get started as far as the advantages both to the residents, but also to the business.
How does this affect the cable services Comcast?
It's completely independent of them. We run our, you know, as Joe says, we get permits for the poles, we run our own fiber optics, and we attach our own cable to the home. So it's completely independent of the local cable company, and the entire network will be brand new. Whereas today, the disadvantage with the cable companies they have is that stuff has been on the line for 40 to 50 years. So just over time, things are going to deteriorate. So we're going to introduce a better technology in fiber along with a brand new plan for them.
So does this fiber optics, you said internet is part of the franchise itself? I mean, our service, excuse me.
Yeah.
So how does that affect, let's go again back to Comcast and Verizon and others that provide the internet services.
So this would be an alternative, so an option for your residents to have, and one of the other advantages to have fiber over cable. Is that typically you'll see a 3% increase in home values if you've got a fiber overbuild in the community. So you're gonna see some advantages to the home prices in the community as well by just bringing in, another choice and an option for the residents.
Does your business come under the Department of Cable?
It does not.
So,
We're a CLEC provider, so more of a telephone company than a cable provider. So we don't have to get a franchise license like a traditional cable company.
okay, so there's no franchise taxes that would be given to the city of Northfield.
There's not. But I think you're gonna find is, we've spoken to Karen, we are very involved with the community, any of the nonprofits, homeless shelters, we provide all free services too. So although you may not be getting tax dollars, I think you're gonna see a lot of human capital from our company invested in that community. But if they didn't, we're not profit. Yeah. So, yeah, it's more like the homeless shelters and like the women's youth centers, and we, volunteer fire department, volunteer ambulance. So they can follow.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Tell them some of the community outreach things that you do, like volunteer hours and.
Yeah, so we, whether it's for the, if you have a Northfield Day or, you have a pet adoption day, anything like that involved community resources, we'll bring that to the table. Economic business development committee, the local chamber of commerce, any of the local business and community, the mother group, in the communities in school, we're working on a scholarship program for the high school. So every single school in your community, we're going to contribute dollars to for a scholarship that'll be granted at the end of the year. For a kid that needs to be criteria that the school does.
So does the school qualify as far as your free internet service?
They do not.
Okay. Reduced rate?
Well, we work within the E-rate system, so if they're long-term part of the E-rate system, look at it and some of the rates.
E-rate, okay.
You say, sorry, did you say you're gonna offer voice over IP as well?
We are, yes.
So then with the the certified local change carrier you mentioned, you'll be in compliance with all the 911 regulations as well.
We will. And if you like, we could provide the committee with a list of the services we're gonna provide, so you guys can start to get familiar with that and kind of get plan for it. And the answer to the home. Overhead. If it's overhead today, overhead is underground, then we'll go in. So the community, the development will underground, will be underground, there's no. Yeah, we'll be underground.
One more thing, I know that Mainland does a career day, they just had a career day. I'll reach out to you too and find out if you guys can go there, but I know they also do, a work program. So where the students get to leave half the day as seniors and they work out in the community, so maybe find out if some of them can apply for jobs. If they need something.
That is actually, when you brought that up, I should have brought it up. So we have recently done all the background checks. We've got the permits to have folks basically solicit. All of the people that do the selling are either seniors in high school or just getting into college. So we take advantage of all the college co-op programs, as well as tapping into the local colleges to find the folks that are going to represent our services and really go do it for. So
So have you already done that and reach out to me?
we've not, that's probably going to be kind of stage. I know if you can get us into that career day, I know we tried and it was full, because it's full. So if you can get us a spot, we'd love to hear what that.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Great.
Okay, right, so.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, with that, the public session is now closed. On resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature, and having been reviewed by council will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so moved, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. The executive session will be held at the end of the meeting. We will come back into the public session and make comment for the record after the executive session has concluded. Any vote made on the subject discussed will be made in public. May I have a motion to vote by consent agenda?
I have a question on one of these.
Yeah,
Can I?
absolutely. That's the time.
Okay, on 72. That apply to coffee shops, bakeries.
We have a broad, when we did the ordinance before, we baked everything on, the governor's recommendation at that point. My concern is some people that might be coming in now and having they're having this thing, personal. Have their outside, I don't want them. Up to be approved. These put something in my mind. You can use up to 50% of the capacity in the without. Increase the capacity at this point for every business, I think that'd be a problem. Not the one part. Alongside, now you're allowing 40 more people to come to a restaurant. For example, not picking on it, you had put in big on line, he closed it, now he's using it all year round. He just, as we know, that place has a problem with parking. Now we allow him to have another 10 or 12 seats, so that's another 3 or 4 cars. That's gonna be more problematic for the neighborhood and for the business stuff. If you go to the business outside the parking station, I go there. Figure out a way to do to allow the outback. The concept for the outdoor is for the summertime, not to have it all year round.
I mean, I think the concept originated during COVID when people didn't want to sit inside and less people were dining out. I think we're back to quote unquote normal now, and I think Ron was well taken that we're creating more of apartment stress, especially in commercial companies. Mary, I think the governor sent this out to November 24th.
He did.
2023, because resolutions are typically actions that are valid for a year. So you would just re-adopt it January of next year for the balance of the government.
So we'll probably go to the school. I can even blanket.
The governor's legislation allows local authorities to put the common sense zoning rules in place. His authorization is just that it can be done in general, and then locally we determine what those rules are.
Is this resolution sufficient as far since it's not addressing parking?
I think without addressing parking, we need to look at how we can make it work for the businesses. In the things that we want to take care of.
Should definitely be a percentage of the.
Exactly.
So are you saying we should pull this resolution?
I haven't got a chance to look yet. Next meeting.
Have you had complaints about parking
No, I see it.
this past year?
I don't, nobody complains about parking because the business owner, they're not gonna call and say we have a problem parking.
Well, neighbor.
We know just some neighbors that are certain for parking, but.
His neighbors always. Been going on for 12 years. I'm curious as to whether you've been getting more complaints as a result of the outdoor.
No, I mean, we have, like, for example, Cafe Food that went to the, when we approved the. I would base that on the fee, so, for example, I was like 10 parking spaces. Now they came in with, they want 25 seats on. 25 seats, that they bring another 6 or 7 cars, we don't have room for that, and they went to the planning board and they got. I don't think I could. That's the number of parking.
They got approval for that, right?
Yeah, they did because when.
For the outdoor?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because he's already had one. And he didn't know what to do with it.
The parking.
Mhm.
Now we add more parking.
Let's just do this Thursday rather than later, like.
talk about it before the next meeting.
Just give enough time to look at it and see what-
Mr. Star, how many applications do you have there? How long do you have?
2 weeks ago. Not like it was in the middle of time.
You communicate to them the first.
We're working on it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the recommendation to table this, the public,
It just won't be moved, yeah.
The 72, so, the consent agenda is 64 to 71. And 73 to 74.
I'd like to make a motion to move to vote by consent agenda for resolution 64 twenty twenty-three through 71 twenty twenty-three and 73 twenty twenty-three and 74 twenty twenty-three.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion to adopt by consent agenda.
I would like to make a motion to adopt by consent agenda for resolution 64 twenty twenty-three to 71 twenty twenty-three and 73 twenty twenty-three to 74 twenty twenty-three.
Second. Roll call?
Mrs. McKee?
Yes.
Mrs. Scarpelli?
Yes.
Mr. Weed?
yes,
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Paulino?
Yeah.
Carried, adopted by the consent agenda.
Resolution 76. Okay. Yep. On the ordinances, based on feedback by the planning board, ordinance 3 will likely be revised for the final document. The committee, I believe that the committee for this project needs to meet one more time.
Sure. So ordinance 3 was introduced on January 17th, as we're required to do under the NLUL. We referred that to the Northfield Planning Board for comment. As everybody knows, we did get comment back. We actually got some testimony from Dr. Levitt and a couple other members of the planning board. In response to that, our council's sign committee met. It's made some revisions, and I think we're to a point where we're relatively close with the revisions. But we do, as council president said, probably one more committee meeting of our committee to fine tune ordinance number 3. And with that, my anticipation would be to have a resolution on the agenda for the 21st, reflecting the changes, and then have you proceed with the adoption. But tonight, since this was advertised, I think we could proceed with the public hearing, knowing full well that we'll probably have a second public hearing on March 21st. So we can probably open it and not think there's anybody here to discuss that. But if they're here to discuss it, since it's advertised, we should give them the opportunity to do so.
Okay, the public hearing on ordinance 3 twenty twenty-three as introduced is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 3 twenty twenty-three may do so at this time. No? Okay. All right, seeing no one in the public session, the public hearing on ordinance 3 twenty twenty-three is now closed. The next item on business on the agenda is ordinance 5 twenty twenty-three. This ordinance repeals and replaces ordinance 4 twenty twenty-three, which we adopted at our last meeting. The ordinance must be re-adopted based on an error made by Preston Atlantic City. The public hearing for the ordinance 4 twenty twenty-three was not advertised as requested. In order to be fully transparent, we are repeating the process to ensure the public has an opportunity to be heard if they choose to do so. May I have a motion for ordinance 5 twenty twenty-three?
I'd like to make the necessary motion to introduce ordinance 5 twenty twenty-three, to read by title only.
I'd like a second.
Ordinance 5 2023 is repealing and replacing ordinance 4 of 2023, which is the calendar year 2023 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limit and to establish a tax bank as permitted by NJSA 40A:4-4513. This is the introduction. There will be no public input, and the ordinance will hopefully be published in the Friends of the Atlantic City on March 11th. The ordinance is presently posted in full in the lobby of City Hall as well as on the website. There will be a second reading, a public hearing, after which the matter will be considered for final adoption on March 21st.
Any questions? Roll call?
Mrs. Pucci.
Yes.
Mrs. Parfano.
Yes.
Mr. Louise.
Yes.
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 Mr. Palestina.
Yes.
Motion passes with the introduction of ordinance 5.
We have motion to introduce ordinance 6/2023.
I'd like to move to introduce ordinance 6-2023 to be read by title only.
Second?
Twenty twenty-three is an ordinance appropriating $100,000 from the capital improvement fund for the roof replacement project for Northfield City Hall. In the city of Northfield, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey. This is the introduction. There will be the public input in this ordinance as well as the public input on March 11th. It is presently posted in the lobby of City Hall as well as on the municipal website. This ordinance as well as ordinance 5, if anyone asks for a copy of the ordinance, they will be provided with one free of charge in the office of the municipal clerk from the office until the time of the public hearing. This ordinance, ordinance 6, will be taken up for a second reading public hearing on March 21st as well.
Any questions? Roll call?
Mrs. Pucci.
Yes.
Mrs. Parfano.
Yes.
Mr. Louise.
Yes.
Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Mr. Notaro.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we have motion for payment of bills?
I'd like to, a motion for payment of bills in the amount of $2,330,708.41.
Second. Roll call?
Mrs. Pucci.
Yes.
Mrs. Parfano.
Yes.
Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Mr. Notaro.
Yes.
Palestina.
Yes.
Bills.
Meeting notices?
Our budget workshop, meeting for March 9th has been canceled. Our next city council meeting is March 21st at 6 PM work session, regular session immediately follow. And, motion to adjourn.
No,
Oh, no. Never mind.
no, sir.
I'm trying to be Greg.
You-
Motion for resolution
Yes.
76.
Sorry.
Motion to adopt resolution 76/2023.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Pucci.
Yes.
Mrs. Parfano.
Yes.
Mr. Louise.
Yes.
Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I always do, Greg,
I got it.
Resolution 76, which was just adopted, as you all know, is a resolution providing for an executive session, not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the Security Open Public Meetings Act. In this case, FNJ, I think, 10:4-12B7 and 8, which are the exemptions regarding contract negotiations and personnel matters. We are required to set forth as much information as possible for the public about the subject matter to be disclosed, as well as provide for them the amount of time and be expected to elapse before the non-public minutes can be closed. And for that, I will first just solicit a comment. For those of you who are here in the audience, once the executive session begins, you would be asked to excuse yourself from council chambers. You would need to wait in the lobby. The doors will be closed. Council will remain in this room. When the public session resumes, we will come back in with that particular statement.
Thank you. As authorized by resolution 76/2023, the council for the city of Northfield will now enter into an executive session not open to the general public in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Discussion items will be contractual negotiations and personnel matters requiring confidentiality. Specifically, the subject to be discussed is a potential shared service agreement with the Borough of Folsom for the services of a chief financial officer. Council will keep minutes of the executive session as required by law, which we approved by the council and made available for public inspection when required and permitted by law. At this time, the time for that release of those minutes is unknown. The appropriate rights notices have been provided to the employee to be discussed. And we will have our executive session here in council chambers. And as Ms. Panisi said, return after the executive session for a statement for the record.
Okay, so at this point, anybody who's here, including the police officer, would need to excuse themselves.
Good seeing you.
Thanks, sir.
I'll call you. Okay.
So long, okay. Good seeing you. You carried out with you?
No, I just got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited.
I was gonna say, that's a lot to carry.
I'll give you one.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be done.
Thank you.
Get up there.
Yeah, make a statement.
You can collect them. Once after next meeting, it'll be public. Mr. Facenda.
Thank you. Northfield City Council has concluded its executive session. 2023, as indicated, the matters discussed. Contractual negotiations, personnel matters, specifically involving a potential care service
This one here?
agreement for a chief financial officer. Minutes for that will be made available and when permitted by law, and no official action will be taken tonight. This matter is probably going to be agenda for our next meeting on March 23rd.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Have a nice holiday, everyone.